National Institute of Health, NIH, it's the federal government's biomedical research agency, one of the world's leading medical research organizations. Now, you talk about a place that does a lot of research. There are over 200 studies that need volunteers listed on their site as we speak. You know, there's a need for healthy volunteers, unhealthy volunteers. Volunteers are constantly needed to advance science. People need to volunteer.
Yes, absolutely right. So human guinea pigs is what we're talking about, and we have Charlotte in the audience today. Thank you for coming, Charlotte.
Thank you for having me.
And so how did you get involved with becoming a human guinea pig, getting into these trials?
Well, it started with receiving an email when I was at school saying that they were looking for volunteers to come in and help with the stroke study, and it actually hit really close to home because my dad's had 2 strokes. So I really wanted to get involved just to learn how medicine is going to advance to help people if, God forbid, something were to happen to my father, me, or just because it's genetic or whatever. So I signed up and I started a week later. It lasted approximately 2 weeks. And it was a combination of medication along with rehabilitation efforts. And then they did something funky with my brain where they were making certain parts of my body move to see if they could target the specific muscle they were trying to rehab. It was, it was pretty neat.
Sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what other type of studies have you done?
Well, I did a really fun one for NASA, and when NASA says they need volunteers, you go right up. So I was there, and it was a lot more extensive and intensive than the previous one, and it included getting my leg biopsied twice. So that was kind of painful, but it was biopsies, MRIs, DEXA scans, a lot of exercises. And what they were trying to do is create something, an exercise machine, that they could send up into space on space missions so that astronauts can increase their bone density on long missions.
And you probably noticed as you did take part in these studies that they're highly regulated.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, we threw this word out, human guinea pig, but the reality is medical research is highly, highly regulated. And so your experience positive overall?
It was really positive, yeah. And they go through all of the rules and regulations. They give you the option, you know, if you really can't commit to this, you can drop out anytime. But honestly, I didn't do it for the money, which I got paid at the end of these studies. I did it just because it's so personal to me. The first one, obviously, with my dad, and then I like knowing that I'm doing something which maybe not a year or 2 years or 5 years from now, but down the road, something great will come out of it.